What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another live preview for you guys today. Big up everyone who's locked in as well. Smash the like and subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. It's a big part of the season. It's the run-in and every game matters. We've got an FA Cup final coming up at the end of the week. Got a Champions League final in 2 weeks, and Chelsea players are going to want to keep themselves fit as well. So I'm wondering about the level of intensity that we're going to have for this game. But even if it doesn't mean as much from the perspective of the league table, it means a lot in terms of tribalism. It's a big London derby, it's Arsenal versus Chelsea. Yes, guys, this video is sponsored by OneFootball. Check it out, the link is down in the description below. OneFootball is the most reliable app you can have for all footballing news regarding any team in Europe, be it club football, be it international football. The one place you can go for the most reliable football news is the OneFootball app. So guys, check it out, the link is down in the description below. Check out all sorts of news regarding your favourite club. Check out the transfer indicator app on OneFootball to check out the reliability of it. But check out the OneFootball app, the most reliable app for your footballing news. It's down in the description below. Check it out, guys. And we had to bring the big guys with us as well. Don, Robbie, what are you saying, my bro?
We're not looking forward to all those things that you're looking forward to right now, but listen, it's a game, man. I mean, I'm mixed feelings on it, to be honest. It doesn't really, normally when we play Chelsea, I mean, we played you earlier on in the season, it meant a lot. I'm going into this game. It means a lot to beat Chelsea. You always want to beat Chelsea. But it's one of those games that if we lose, it's like, well, yeah, you know, that's where we are right now. If we win, it's still like, well, yeah, too little, too late. Yeah, we've turned up when no pressure's on. You know what I mean? So it's one of those games that, you know, our season's over. Our season's over. Yeah, from we got knocked out of the Europa League the other day, with a very, very poor performances. We've been very poor in the league. We did step it up when we beat you guys, funny enough. But we've been very, very poor recently. Our season's over, and I think every Arsenal fan just wants it over now.
I hear that, and I completely understand the thought process behind it as well, because everything was riding on the Villarreal legs. But do you feel like with your run-in for the end of the season as well, because bar the Chelsea game, I personally thought you guys had a very favourable
We had a very easy run-in. Again, that's another reason why the fans are very angry at the moment. You know, when you add in that Super League thing that went down, that just tipped the fans over the edge. But even leading up to that, our form in the league has been horrendous, right? And, you know, how I look on it, we had an easy run-in. We had teams like Fulham we drew to, you know what I mean? And games like that. The points that we've dropped in that run-in, when you looked at our running, the only team I looked at in the running, I said, right, there's one game in there that I'm like, it's a tough game, but we normally always win it, which was Everton at home, lost that. Yeah. And the Chelsea game, Chelsea away, all right, that's going to be really tough. But the rest of the games I looked at, you know, West Brom, Newcastle, as I said, Fulham, we got Brighton to play, Palace. You looked on it and you're like, there's an outside chance you could even put a run together and even win all those. Maybe you could sneak a top 4 or top 6 at least. Yeah. And we blew that even. So it's been very, very poor from Arsenal this season. It's the worst ever. It's going to be the worst ever Premier League finish, right?
It might not be. It might not be. Sorry to interrupt.
What's the worst one?
It might not be, because the worst
was last year, 8th.
No, the worst so far is
Premier League, I say.
94, 95, 12.
No, Premier League.
Yeah, in Premier League, 94, 95.
Was it?
12 was our worst ever finish.
Realistically,
we couldn't even. We might even hit that.
If results go your way, though, you could finish 6th. Like, you guys are only 4 points behind Tottenham right now.
Listen,
it's up to you, because I've been.
Listen, I want to win. I want to beat Chelsea, right? Because, like you said, it's tribalism. You want to beat Chelsea, right? If we beat Chelsea, we've done a double over Chelsea. In the grand scheme of things, it don't mean nothing to Arsenal fans, but
bragging rights.
You want to beat Chelsea, right? You want to, you know, we was doing a watch along to the West Brom game. Didn't mean nothing, but we want to win it.
It did.
Right?
Allardyce getting relegated.
Right? Apart from for him, it meant something. But you want to win the game, right? But in the grand scheme of things, I think every Arsenal fan is just like, let's get the season done, start again. You know?
I completely.
Preferably with new owners.
Yeah, you guys, like we were speaking about with Cecil and Turkish as well, and talking about like the state of Arsenal from the top to the bottom in itself. And looking on the other side from a Chelsea perspective, like the last time we spoke, we were all in an amazing mood under Frank Lampard, and then we faced you, and then everything literally just turned 180 for the next month. But then Thomas Tuchel's come in, and he's done more than steady the ship. He's put us in an amazing position right now. And what's your thoughts been on Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel, and also the idea of sacking Frank Lampard as well? Because we've been talking about the difference between the two managers and the way the board has gone with the two managers as well. We sacked Lampard within a month after the bad run. Arteta's kind of still in the job, and I'm seeing with Arsenal fans in general, like even you, Ty, after the Villarreal game, you were like, nah, he might not be the guy for the job. And when you're the one saying it, well, that's showing me levels, isn't it?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me on. Yeah, well, the thing is, I can't say anything. I don't want him to get the sack, but I just can't see how he can stay. That's all. I've got to be honest. But, you know, listen, if he is going to stay, which apparently you reckon he is, isn't it? You reckon he's
all indications is that they're not intending to sack him.
And that's fine. He's got to be given everything he needs, basically, because that's what's happened to Klopp. That's what's happened to Guardiola. And that's what's happened to Tuchel, even possibly to Lampard. I think Lampard was very unlucky to be sacked. But once again, you said Chelsea were ruthless. Chelsea were ruthless. They didn't spend much time on sentimentality that Lampard is a legend and all that. So, you know.
Well, one thing I do want to ask, to be fair, because you say about if Arteta stays, which I do think he will as well, he should be given everything like Klopp was, like Guardiola was. Do you think Arsenal are able to give him that? Because obviously the likelihood is you're not going to get Europa League football. It might be the Conference League or who knows what else. Do you think people are going to be really attracted to come and play that style of football, or that, you know, that quality of football, I should say?
Listen,
because Premier League's one thing, but Europe is where the money is.
Yeah, no, it's true, but we can always attract players. We still have a big name. We still have a big name. I think we can always attract players for the fact of the club, and for the fact also the draw in London is massive. That's a massive draw for a lot of players. I still think we can. I still think we can attract players. I don't know. Are they going to give him the money? I don't know. But then, what's the point in him staying? Yeah. If he's going to stay...
But do you feel like the name of Arsenal is declining in itself? Because this is leading to a big name of the title. Because, as you guys know, the title of the question is London blue if Chelsea win their second Champions League? And obviously it depends on if we do. No. But we're talking
London
about...
will never be blue.
London will never be blue. This is why I wanted you on the video.
London will never be blue.
Even if... Talk to me.
Chelsea poured blue dye, it will come down and end up red. So no, I don't think so. Obviously, Chelsea are doing well. And we can't deny that. But no, I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't
think so. Why?
But why? But like I said, you look at history. Chelsea are doing well now, but you know, obviously we're not doing well at the moment. But what we've done, you know.
So if we're creating history, surely after a while that does turn.
Yeah, but it depends though. It depends. Are Chelsea going to be winning and winning? I don't think Chelsea will. Just like we won't always be here. Because every team
didn't they say that 15 years ago when Abramovich took over? He's just going to use you for a few years and he's just going to be your toy and get bored and then just throw
almost 20 years later, where we are.
No, but Abramovich cares about the club. We're not always going to, as for what I think, these owners that we have are not going to stay forever. Just like the Invincibles didn't stay forever. You know, so everyone has their cycle. So listen, we're not going to always be this bad. We are going to be always this bad, and I might say, Chelsea are not going to always be this good. You know, I think you lot were talking about Liverpool. Look, James, fantastic, clever James was talking about Liverpool and saying that they reached 99 points in the 97, and then look at them this season. All right. Yeah. To be fair to Liverpool, from the outside, I think that the injury to Van Dijk was massive. I also think it was a very dangerous tackle by Pickford, and I'm surprised that he didn't see red, because that's a really dangerous. I think Van Dijk, I don't want to go into what's happened to us, but I probably will. Van Dijk is very lucky because he's got the luck that Eduardo, Aaron Ramsey and Vasily Abidjabi didn't get. Do you see what I mean? But that's, you know what I mean? That's cause Liverpool. But look at Liverpool. I thought Liverpool were going to retain the league. Look what's happened. You know, but they've been fantastic for those two.
Yeah, I think
they've been fantastic.
Yeah. But that's the thing, they've only been fantastic for 2 years. Like us, we've had our ups and our downs, but we've been kind of stable in the fact that regardless, we just win trophies.
You have, but what happened last season? Look how bad we were. We still won.
We've had 3 seasons under Abramovich without trophies. Now we're at the point where we're overdue a trophy.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think with Chelsea, listen, in the modern era now, we're in trouble as Arsenal fans, and this is the thing that's really me as an Arsenal fan, it upsets me to know that our owners have as much money as Abramovich, right? But they don't want to spend it. I see Abramovich at Chelsea games.
Yeah.
It means a lot to him. If he's going to sack Lampard, who's a legend, is a guy he would have been cheering on, and a guy that he'd have been like, yeah, I actually love this guy, Abramovich.
And don't forget sacking Mourinho twice as well.
Yeah.
Right? And he sacked these guys because he's like, I love him, but I want to win.
Yeah.
Then I look at our guys and I'm like, where are they? They never come. We never hear from them. We got knocked out of the Europa League last week. We ain't heard nothing from them. Right? So I look at Abramovich and I'm like, if he does have a couple of years of a trophy drought, he's then going to say, well, I need to do something about this.
Yeah.
What do I need?
Yeah, no.
He'll go to the manager, what you just said, and say, what do you need?
Yeah.
These guys here now, are they going to look on our guys? Are they going to look on it and say to Mikel Arteta, well, we finished 8th and possibly 9th or even worse this year. What do you need in the summer? I don't think they will. I don't think they will. And I just don't have no confidence in them whatsoever. And I have to say at the moment, you know what I mean, when Chelsea played Atletico Madrid on the Don Robbie channels, we do watch-alongs, right? When Chelsea played Atletico Madrid and I saw how easily they turned them over, I remember I turned around to Sophie and I said, I hope to God it don't happen. But I'm very fearful that they're going to win the Champions League because they're very good. I said, and people was having a go at me at the time and they're saying, oh, Chelsea. I said, listen, look at the players they've got. They've got excellent players. They've just not been firing. Yeah. If they get those guys firing, and then that's the opposition. I thought Atletico were going to be like one of the toughest teams. The way in which they dealt with them easily, I like they can win it. And then
that's true.
I knew they turned over Porto. Porto beat Juventus, remember? I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah.
Over 2 legs.
Yeah.
They turned over Real Madrid just as easy as they did Atletico Madrid.
That's true.
And in the final, they're playing Man City. They've turned over City already twice.
They have. But
and I think they're the one team in the Premier League. There's 2 teams in the Premier League that are not scared when they play City. That's Chelsea and Man United.
Yeah. Fair enough.
When we play City, we play them with fear. We're like, oh, City, oh. They're not. They've not got that fear, so they could win it.
They're not.
If Chelsea did win it, then you know, what I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I start to get fearful that we are starting to listen. Our history is better, but like you guys said, they're creating new history, and this is where I want our owners. It gets me angry because Chelsea are not supposed to just come from where they're coming from and be the team that's doing what they're doing in London. Right? It's not good enough. It's not good enough from our owners. The 2 teams that should be putting pressure on you in London are both badly managed. When I say badly managed, I'm not even on about the managers, I'm on from the top.
What do you mean us in West Ham?
You know, so I listen, it pains me, man. It pains me because Arsenal, to me, I've been around the world with this club. This club's huge. Absolutely huge. But I know that. He knows that. The other fans know that.
Just a
the guy who owns the club don't know that.
Yeah.
He just wants it to make money.
So
I have to, listen, you know, I used to say all the same things about Abramovich. I used to say, yeah, I probably was one of them men who said, yeah, he'll just have it for a few years and it'll go, this, that. You've got to say that the guy has put his money where his mouth is.
Yes.
But it's not just the money. The guy wants to win.
Yeah.
Right? And he will do what it takes to win. Right? And he will sack managers if they need to be sacked. He will change up things and shake up things. So what it is at Chelsea, I just feel that that's not a comfortable club to be at. If you're a footballer and you just want to be comfortable and want to go there and chill and stuff like that, you come to Arsenal. If you want to challenge yourself right now, right, you go to Chelsea or Man City because you know that if you ain't performing.
That literally just sounds like the Willian transfer.
I was just going to say, not even a dig.
Willian, exactly. I mean, Willian, you offered him a new deal. You offered him a couple of years. He's like, no, I want 3 years. You guys said, no, we went and give him 3 years. What for? Why are we giving him 3 years?
I'm gonna be real, even without taking digs, I was looking at the whole chance thinking, what are you guys doing? He literally only wants to stay in London for his restaurant. It's like, you guys just handed it to him on a silver platter.
He's got a restaurant?
Babbo, down in Mayfair.
Oh, was
Him
it?
and
David
David
Luiz.
Luiz.
Oh, the one that David Luiz owns. Okay.
Yeah, they.
But
Okay. Oh, that's
well,
interesting.
you know, I'm just looking on it. And that's what I'm saying. It's too comfortable, and you need an environment. A winning environment at a football club
challenge
is every single player, every day when you come into training, and every match you play, you're like, yo, if I ain't on it, bro,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
I might not get a game.
Yeah.
But that's been the problem with Arsenal in general. That from the top down, you can see the lack of intent from the owner, and it's kind of just fed down to the players.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for even Arteta because you can see, even though he's made a lot of errors and mistakes that I don't like, right? But you can see that he's trying to instill that into the team that, like, yo, if you don't perform, you're not playing it. But if you're not backed up, that has to come from the top down.
He does.
Top down. And when we was going to watch the Invincibles, that existed.
Unbelievable.
I've spoken to those guys. I've spoken to Thierry Henry.
Incredible.
I've spoken to other Invincible players that they've said to me, they go, yo, the culture of the club at that time was, yo, anybody who weren't performing,
Yeah.
didn't
That
even
was the
need
Chelsea mentality.
It didn't even need the manager to get rid of them.
Yeah.
The players were round on them and say, well, yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
The players there, like, I've spoken to those guys like Lauren and that, they've told me.
Lauren.
That's the culture that existed at that time.
Jens, yeah.
That ain't there now.
Sylvan.
That ain't there now.
That's
That
the
ain't
thing.
there now, Ty.
It's not there.
That's player power to its absolute perfection. That's where you want to see it. That's Henry. That's the big names.
It's not even player power, you know.
Well,
it's a
yeah.
winning mentality.
Yeah,
Right,
completely.
so when you got a load of guys that are winners around, the slackers, they stand out.
Yeah. And
They stand out. You're like, yo, what's up with this guy, man? You know what I mean? And so they stand out. When you got loads of slackers around, right, the winners stand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what happened with Chelsea for years. We had Eden Hazard, who was brilliant, you know, in the last couple of years before he left to go to Real Madrid. But you kind of started to see, after John Terry went, obviously Lampard, Drogba, Cech went previously, you started to see a few of these people that this player power existed, but it wasn't a winning mentality. It wasn't that winning standard, bar like 2 or 3 people. Kante was one of them as well. But Hazard was the main one. And when he went, it was like, oh shit, what are we going to do? And it kind of feels like Arsenal's went such a long time ago. And it's I don't want to pin it all on the move to the Emirates, but it kind of feels like that mentality started to disappear when the Emirates came into play. And it was someone like Van Persie, who was a great player that just
from the
faded out.
Cronkies have taken over Arsenal, in my opinion.
When did they take over? Sorry,
They've been in charge now for what, well over, was it 12 years, 12, 13 years?
Yeah, okay.
And since they've taken over the club, right, that winning mentality's gone. We had the whole thing about being comfortable about getting into the top 4. The top 4 is a trophy, all that sort of, you know, absolute rubbish, right? That's not a winning mentality. That's comfort zone.
Yeah.
Get into the top 4, make a load of money, repeat. Get into the top 4, make a load of money, repeat. That's not winning. Winning is, came runners up, what do we need to do? That's why even the other day I was chatting to a Liverpool fan, I was like, your owners really, they've let Klopp down. They didn't give him sufficient what he was required. It can't be that you're just missing one player. You're missing Van Dijk and everything falls apart. It can't be that.
Yeah, but that was
It can't be that tie, right?
No, it's not that, but it's a
And
massive
even then, they had January to go out and find a replacement.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah, they did.
So that's what I'm saying. But when you're obsessed with winning, you'll be like, what do I do? Oh, we won it this year. Brilliant. We popped the champagne and all that. That's done now. What do we do to do it next year? Right? What do we do? How do we rectify certain... I look at Man City. They're like, how do we lost the league last year. It was really our defence. How do we rectify that? They went and bought that Diaz guy.
Yeah.
They went and bought a couple more defensive players. Notice that they didn't buy a lot of attacking players.
Yeah, they bought him.
Defence. They concentrated on solidifying that defence. Now they won the league easy.
Liverpool Champions League final. Literally, they had a massive problem with the goalkeeper. 2 seconds later, went and brought in a goalkeeper.
Exactly.
To win the league.
I was with Edouard Mendy.
Yeah.
You guys, you know what I mean? Kepa, useless, you know what I mean?
I don't think he's useless. I think
to me, he is. You hit a ball.
That season he was.
You hit a ball.
Kepa,
you hit a ball at range, right? Down to his right-hand side, I think it is, they say.
Yeah.
Literally every time he
that season was anything. Couldn't reach the top corners, near post.
What did they do? What did they do?
They brought in.
Remember how much he cost in her?
Yeah, but the
The
thing is,
most expensive goalkeeper in the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Didn't matter to Abramovich. You're
No,
not good
true.
enough.
That's true.
What do you need? What do you need? Oh, you know what? I'm not sure about Kepa, man. No, don't worry.
That's true, but I think
That's the difference, Ty.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I hear that. But the thing is, with Kepa, I don't think he's useless. I think what it was him refusing when Sarri told him to come off.
There's that, and on top of that, he was
No,
useless.
but that was the season before.
Yeah, no, but that didn't go down very well.
Yeah, it didn't go
No,
down
but
very
even
well.
then
He
he still had
didn't go
moments
down
for
very
it.
well either to
No,
make
but we had
saves.
moments of like Frankfurt in the semi-final second leg.
Well,
We
they probably-
literally
you probably
dragged
can
us
tell
to
me
the
more.
final.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was. I don't know how relevant it is, but like that was around the time where he broke up with his like childhood girlfriend and.
What, when he refused to come off?
No. The
Oh.
season afterwards,
Yeah.
and I feel
Oh.
like that played an impact into his form because
Could
he
be,
fell
but
off a cliff. He was.
You know what, Lewis? Yeah, Abramovich don't
that's
care about that.
interesting.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah.
Winning mentality, man, don't care. Businessman,
Yeah.
like, yo, you play for Chelsea, you need to win. And that's what I want to see coming in at Arsenal. I agree with you, Ty. I still think we can attract players. The brand of Arsenal is still huge. The allure of Arsenal is still huge. However, if we don't start getting our act together, we're not going to be able to attract players.
Yeah.
And also, you know, no Champions League football. Players are not stupid. They're looking, they're seeing what's going on. What players want to see is ambition.
Yes.
Right? So I feel that if Arteta, if he's still in the job, which it looks like he will be, if he can show ambition in
yeah.
the summer, if they back him and he can show, you know, potential targets that we have an ambition to do this and this and this,
Yeah.
we can still be an attractive club because Arsenal's a huge, huge club.
Yeah.
But we need to start doing that. We need to start doing that quickly because if not, it's going to be very hard for us to make cases against it not being blue. And I'm just being real right now. I have to be honest. You know, I mean, I can't come on here. I can't come in here after the season we've had and the season we had last season in the league. I'm not on about FA Cup now because we did beat Chelsea in the final of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But I judge the team off the league.
Yeah.
And our
And we've
league
done badly,
form,
yeah.
we haven't been in the Champions League now for 5 years. That's not good enough for a club like Arsenal.
Yes.
It's the third biggest club in this country.
Yeah. No, that's true. But then what I would say, I'd stick up for that one. That's fine. But what I would say in not getting Champions League, I'd stick up for our former manager Unai. I'll still go back to Wembley when Pierre had the penalty saved by Lloris and Vertonghen in quotes. I don't know what the referee did. No, but I don't understand. If that was VAR, it would have been taken again. That's what I'm saying. So I think Unai
Yeah, but it
was
weren't VAR.
No, but how do you miss that? That means Vertonghen was basically.
No, but like
it's-
if we go back there, like we also go back to the run in that season. You guys had the easiest running out of everyone fighting for top four.
Yeah,
that
we did.
season.
Unai
We had
Emery-
Liverpool away.
Unai Emery blew it.
Yeah.
He you know, he
but then that's
putting
the
out
issue,
weakened teams against Palace and things like that. Again, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, right? And listen, we're probably going to finish 9th, 10th, 8th, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea have also finished,
Yeah.
you know, it was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
in the similar-
2016, yeah.
Sorry?
2016 we finished 10th.
10th,
10th, yeah,
right?
10th, yeah, 10th, I remember, yeah.
But, and this is the challenge to our guys, right? What did they do the next season? What did they
Lifted
do?
the title.
They went and got the title. They went and they looked at it and they rectified. A lot of people say, it was because they didn't have a Champions League.
Yeah,
And
that
I've heard
helped.
a lot
That
of our
did help,
fans.
but that
I've
did
heard a
help.
lot of our fans saying there's no Europe at all. We can concentrate on the league.
But that did help, though.
You still need the players.
You still need the players, but that helps.
You're still gonna have to try and attract players, but it's going to be difficult. But
Yeah.
you guys did it, right? And you're still going to have to. You need to show ambition, and you need a good manager, and you can then do something that you can bounce back the next season. It's been a weird season. So that's the challenge. That's
Yeah,
the
it's a challenge,
challenge
yeah.
to us.
You said we did it though, which I actually slightly disagree with you because we won the league the year before that. So we already had pretty much this championship quality team ready to go, had a completely abysmal 2015-16 season. And we
Another poor transfer window as well.
Yeah, shocking. We brought in Pedro, that was pretty much it. But in terms of that year
Pedro.
afterwards, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure the only player we really brought in that played a big feature was, we brought in Kante, which was great. But
Kante,
it was
Alonso,
Marcos Alonso
Luis.
was the only one, really.
Luis as well.
Oh yeah, we brought back Louise.
That was probably his
But
best
still,
season at Chelsea shot.
We attracted back a Champions League player to come play for nothing.
You strengthened in the areas that let you down previously, right? You
Yeah.
strengthened those players that you described. That you strengthened the spine of the team, which is I remember that season when you did finish 10th. It was very easy. Chelsea was still good attacking wise. Very easy to run through them and beat them. So that's what I'm saying. That's the challenge anyway.
That is a challenge.
How do you bounce back from it? Because like Ty said, there are cycles in football. You can have dips.
Always.
Right?
And everyone has them.
What do we do? And that's the challenge to us as Arsenal, as Arsenal Football Club. That's the challenge to us because, we can bounce back from this, but it's the guys who are in charge. How ambitious are they to bounce back? Because the brand is still there. The name of Arsenal is still worldwide.
That's true.
The fan base is still there.
That's true. But then listen, I hope Mikel does well, but then I just go back to the legend that is Arsenal. Can you imagine? When he came in, people said, who is he? And look at the legacy he had. So you never know. Like I said, everyone has their cycles. Everybody. That's us, Chelsea,
we
Liverpool,
need that cycle back.
The Chiefs, Manchester City, and that's it. That's all. And even West Ham. I'll even mention West Ham. That's it. So
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
I won't mention anyone else about having cycles. No, because I think West Ham won the cup in 1980, didn't they?
The league.
The league. I think the best West Ham got is second, isn't it? Second when they started Alan Devonshire and all that.
Oh, Christ.
That's the last time.
Before I was born, Ty.
Yeah, way before.
Good player.
Hey, as a final question before we wrap up the video, we'll just head back to the game. We'll get you guys' score predictions. Robbie,
Okay.
We'll start with you. What's your thoughts?
At first, I was thinking to myself, it would be like Arsenal to go and win that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember we played you the first time. I remember you was pretty.
You see why I'm calm today? I'm
Use
not
it. Yeah.
risking anything
Yeah.
this time.
But I feel that with this game, Chelsea need it. You still haven't secured your top four. No. I'm really split because you haven't secured top four, so you need to win. But then on the other hand, you've got the FA Cup final at the weekend.
And the Champions League final after that. And
Yeah, but I think the Champions League final is far away. But you just played a game on
Man City.
Saturday, and you've got the FA Cup at the weekend.
And then we also play Leicester as well, 4 days after that, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leicester,
It's a
I'm
tough
going to go for
one.
a draw.
Leicester twice to the
I'm
row.
going to go for a draw. This Arsenal team at the moment, the pressure's off. Yeah, so they'll probably go and put a performance in
Yeah.
because the pressure's off them.
Yeah.
So, and we've had in recent games the funny thing, we've had quite a decent record against Chelsea. So
Yeah.
draw. I'm going to go for a draw.
Ty, what about you, bro?
Well, I never go for anything other than a win. I just think I think it's so interesting. I've already heard about some Chelsea fans already saying they're going to smash us up, which I love. The thing is, listen, I love that. What I will say is that, like you said, Chelsea can't afford to go into this game hell for level, and that's where we have an advantage. Whereas we don't have anything to play for, so we can try and leave it all out on the pitch. So I'm confident, and once again, I'm not saying you are. We are underestimated again. So we don't have no pressure. There's no pressure on us. There's no pressure on us. It's going to be very.
When the pressure's on, we don't produce.
Well, listen, the pressure's off, isn't it? So
That's what I mean. That's what I said. That's why we might turn up.
So so it's gonna be a difficult game. But the fact that we can go in and really go hell for leather, and Chelsea won't be able to because of who they've got to play. No, because they
They have got a very good squad.
They have got.
They can. Yeah, drop Werner and that out, but they can bring in Tammy Abrahams, they can bring in, Kai Havertz, people like that.
Yeah,
so,
they can. But the thing is, the fact that they've got a final, listen, players won't want to, but the final will be on the back of their heads. Possibly, I don't want to get injured because it's the final. And that's where I think we have.
That's very fair.
That's where I think we have the advantage. So I know I'm going on a bit. I would go and say 2-0 to us.
He always says 2-0.
That's my
How many of them
prediction.
2-0s have come off this season?
Well, it went off. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the last
Hey, charity FC's here, innit? So I'm not going to say too much. Craigo, what about you?
I'm going to stick with my 1-1. I agree with Robbie. I think it's going to be a draw. I just think there's a few players that will be a little bit tentative, knowing they've got an FA Cup final and a Champions League final, especially after what happened to Christensen the other day. They won't want to get injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. For me, I was going to go 2-0 as well, but that's only because we're hard to break down.
Yeah.
So I feel like Like, it would be a big ask for you guys to break us down. Same way I think it'd be a big ask for anybody to do it.
It would be, but there's no pressure on us. So
No,
when there's
no,
no pressure,
there's the capability of it. Like, literally, you lot beat us 3-1 in December. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say you lot aren't capable of getting a result from us,
Yeah.
but I still think it's a completely different Chelsea. And
It is.
I just think with Thomas Tuchel, every single time there's been a challenge, he has got past that challenge. I just see the same thing happening again
Yeah,
in
but
this one.
you say that, and that's fair enough. But then look what happened when that relegated Allardyce brought West Brom. They ended up winning 5-2.
Yeah.
And West Brom are not a better side than
That's
us.
the thing. I can't even explain
Do
that.
you know
I
what I
can
mean?
only just call it a fluke because we shipped 5 to West Brom. Like, I don't know. Callum Robinson loves us, but again, Clarity FC.
Oh, right. Okay.
It is what it is. Guys,
Okay.
big up everyone who's been watching from start to finish. As always, check out AFTV. Like, I'm not even going to say if you haven't done it already because I'd be more surprised if you haven't. But check out AFTV. The link is in the tile and down in the description below. Check out the new Chelsea Fan TV as well. We have rebranded, so check it all out. It's down below as well. Smash the like and subscribe button. The links to all of our socials on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram are down there as well. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow for the game. Take care, like and subscribe. And as always, up the Chelsea.